Just pretend that was a special video effect of my logo bouncing around. Anyway, so, no, I don't like this. It is Wednesday, January the 19th. Still under lockdown. Woohoo! Just like last January. Here's the other super fun part. I had ordered some stuff. I talked about it last week. I restocked some things and tossed in a few new things and placed the order. Emails go to my husband. He said something about it. I assumed it was on the way. He didn't say, no, it's not on the way. He said, yeah, I saw that email. So I checked yesterday because I'm like, that order should be here. They haven't sent it yet. So that's the stuff I was going to talk about, which I cannot talk about today because I don't have it. Everybody's adapting. I know, it's a crazy time. Okay. And my emails are just flying here. Inboxes like this. So today, I'm just going to show you some of the sale fabrics that were recently marked down. When I did the inventory, when I did the inventory, we identified a bunch of fabrics that we need to clear out. They've been here long enough. We want to replace them and make some room. So there's a lot of fabrics that we have that I've marked down to $10 a meter. Some of them worked out a little less than that, and I'll show you those in a minute. But the majority, I love doing things opposite land. The majority are on these racks if you were able to come in. I've moved these sale fabrics back here again. And if you were in before and you noticed that the Indigo Garden was 25% off, I've marked it down to just a dang old $10 a meter. Yep. That's the light floral, little tiny floral. It's a bluish gray. I left a link to, I should probably put this in the comments too. I've left a link to the best sale page to look at, because some of these, since I just changed the price, they don't show up on the sale page because they're not on sale. I just changed the price. Duh. So you have to go look and see them at, there we go. See them at the, lost my place. You have to go see them at the main fabric page and sort by price. Lowest price first. And then you'll see everything. And as always, if you see a mistake, something's misidentified, or you need more clarification, just hit the button, send me a message. So yeah, that nice Indigo Garden. There's not a lot of it left, but I will say, if you like stripes, there's a lot of the stripes left. I know you guys just love working with stripes, don't you? Yes, you do. No, honestly, there's a couple of good prints left too, because the, I mean, this is actually really quite nice. The little gray flowers on the blue. This, if you were looking for cheap backings too, you would still have to piece them. But honestly, at that price, you can't do that with a stick. What else have we got here? The other things I marked down. Oh, that includes, I also marked down the bee kind. So there's some of the bee fabric left over. This particular print from the line didn't have any bees on it, but it is a lovely repeating type print here. This would make a really cool kaleidoscope quilt. One block wonder. That's the word I'm looking for. Have not had enough tea. Where's the one with the bees? There's a couple with bees left here. So these two prints with your bees, they're left there on the sale page. And also this really nice text print. If you collect text prints or you want a nice creamy low volume print, yeah, you can stick that in your low volumes collection. The other things that I wanted to, oh, they're right there. There's a couple that wound up by the time they got marked down. I don't know how it happened, but we're going to roll with it anyway. They're less than $10 a meter. And they're these 1930s Christmas prints. They don't look terribly Christmassy, just a little bit, But again, by the time you piece this for like a quilt back, what was the price on that? I think it was like $1.25 per 1/4 meter, which would be very cheap. $1.87. That's why I didn't figure it out in my head. 2, 4, 6, 8. So less than $8 a meter. There's lots here. So it's like ready to go. If you were working on a Christmas quilt, this would make a really nice back. Also, it would hide any imperfect quilting stitches if you were looking to practice your quilting or whatever. So it would make a good back for that reason. And the other print, I know we're still talking about Christmas here, I know. I do more Christmas sewing in January and February than I do in November and December. I swear I do. This nice little red print, it is not as tomatoey as it's showing up because I'm standing right under a light. See, if I tip my monitor up a little, it's the perils of changing your setup. I did that this morning because I didn't want to move all the sail fabric. So I said, let's just turn things around. And then there's windows in the way, and I got up late, and it's been really fun behind the scenes here. Yes, it has. So this one also on sale for less than $10. I think I just said less than 8, but it's got these little toys and prints and stuff. And you can see the scale of it here. And there's lots. Again, if you just need some more reds in your stash, it's only vaguely Christmas. I mean, it is a lighter green, but that's fine. That's pretty hot in some of the collections in the lighter green and the red. Whew, tell me what you're working on, and I'll say hi to the people who showed up in the comments. Jeez. Heidi's always here because it's early where she is. Hi, Heidi. She's along. And Kelly. Hi, Kelly. How you doing? What's everybody working on? How's the weather there? I know, I'm acting like you're like totally replying right now. We keep getting the snowstorms, and then it warms up, and then it freezes really cold. And I keep getting sinus headaches from that, which makes me super, super, super not productive from the temperature flux. You can probably hear it from the temperature fluctuations up and down and all around. I have to promote the Valentine. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I'm distracted. It's ADD. I need to drink more tea. And it rhymes. I'm like a poet. My mom's working on an I Spy quilt for one of my great nephews. We can't keep them all straight at this point. Go, Becky. No, I think she's done. We love her. So as you can see, we've got some lovely sale fabrics. And you can see some more down here. Some of the ones that you've been used to seeing that are slowly leaving the shop. I'm going to be working on some kits. See if we can move some more out here. But I did add these prints as well in a couple of different colorways. They're supposed to be like a flower garden. They do have a bit of a metallic to them. So if they match what you're working on, they match what you're working on. I mean, it's still a pretty good back, or just throwing some stuff in there. Or, you know, drive you really crazy and order a 1/4 meter of everything. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to need chocolate after this one. No, it's fine. I just give myself a hard time. So, like I said, Mom, you missed it. I was going to talk about an order that came in, but then it didn't. So I don't have that to talk about. So it's great. But I do follow some other shops. And another thing that's coming in is the Every Child Matters panel. Don't know how much I will be charging for them. I know it will be not a lot over cost, not the usual markup, because anything over and above our cost, any profit will go to local bands and any of the Indigenous people that we have in our area. We only thought that was right. I don't want to profit off it, but I know people want some. So, Heidi's working on a cardboard creation class, which actually is really, really cool. So super cool. Maybe, hey, Heidi, if you have a good link for the newsletter for cardboard creations, that would be super cool if you had one handy. Otherwise, I'll try and remember to look one up for myself. So there we go. What else have we got? Really not much. I mean, I'm like 11 minutes in here and I'm rambling, and we already went through all the sale fabric. Darn it. You know what else I marked down? Oh, actually, this is actually really good. I have a lot of this flannel and I marked it down too. And there's quite a bit. And don't you make me make Ron pajama pants out of these. But anyway, there's that. I wonder how much that flannel is. I am ill prepared this morning. Yes, I am browsing my site as we speak, as we go live. You don't want to watch me do this in the background though, because it's too hilariously funny. I have way too many tabs open too. And I have to see if I've got, oh wow, it's not even showing on the site. So I know one thing I need to fix. This isn't showing on the website, but I promise I will totally fix it. And I have some new fabrics that I showed you last week that I totally have to get showing on the website. I did type them into the system, and it's really funny. I could get in like 20 bolts of fabric and get them up, and I'm like, okay, it's all done this afternoon. I get 2 bolts of fabric. It takes me a week. It's really weird. Good morning, Danielle. It's our other favorite shop owner. Oh man, this winter, it's been a killer, hasn't it? So while we're here, I've got things on the floor over here too, because I've been, so the shop is closed for people to come in, but you can order online and you can pick up. And then I have people call and they're like, well, I'm not comfortable with ordering online. I can't figure it out or whatever. Or I found what I want, but I don't know if it's the right color and I don't want to buy 3 meters of the wrong color. So I just come by. I will meet you outside, masked. It's safer out there. Germs will fly around in the wind and fly away. Well, get blown away. It's basically safer outside, masked up anyway, than it would be inside. And we can just check your fabric in there. And I mean, this is natural light, as long as we don't pick a cold day, because thankfully you guys are like me. If it's cold out, we ain't going nowhere. And storms. And then storms. And then the tractor battery died. It was 10 years old. It was probably time, because Ron actually reefed off one of the nuts bolts while he was taking it off. But we got the new one in there while it was snowing. And he did get the driveway finished. It was like half done, and we had to keep telling people, just come in and go out the same entrance and just ignore the other side there. But we were pressured to get it done too, because it warmed right up. And then if it warms right up and in our driveway, because it's sloped really badly in 2 different directions, everything will melt and make a really nice skating rink. So you have to get it cleared at just the right time, so you don't let it freeze into a bunch of big, huge humps that you can't drive over, or that other like nice, smooth, icy skating rink. So the driveway's fine now. If you were by and we're like, oh my God, somebody got to do about this. That was part of the reason it was no battery. It's great. Sharon is working on a dahlia panel top that ended up being a king size. We feel your pain, Sharon. I am laughing with you. I swear to God, because yeah, and another Diane is working on a bee wall hanging with fabrics from everywhere. Of course, they can all live in harmony. That is really, really great. That's one of the things. Like, see, Danielle's probably laughing. That's one of the things I see really great work too, because it's funny how the shop owners don't worry too much if if some of us ordered some of the same. Because I even had an order last week where the lady was like, well, I bought some of these fabrics up in a kit up north. I wanted to make it bigger. Do you have any more of these fabrics? Yes, I do. Here you go. Then she ordered them. Now she's double happy with both shops. I mean, both shops did a great job. Of course we did. Yeah, I know. It's one of those days. I might have to go out this afternoon. I have an appointment that I have to see if it is canceled or not. That's the fun part. And then I should probably go out anyway for groceries, because I am digging around the bottom of the freezer, Mom, which is hard because half the family can't eat half of the food that's in here. So it's left to me to eat all the weird things. You know, it's like one night for supper, you have 3 French fries, 2 chicken nuggets, and an egg roll because you're just cleaning out whatever's at the bottom of the freezer. My mom's laughing. I know she is. So is there anything you guys want to learn about fabric and stuff? I mean, there's stuff coming. It's going to be slow. January is slow usually. Nobody's sure of what's going on. Partly, I'm in a couple of guilds, and some of them they have like some virtual workshops coming up, which they're still fine. But what do we do about these in-person ones? We were going to have a retreat. Do we start planning our quilt shows in the spring or the fall? Do we like, tentatively do these things? Nobody knows anything, but we're all crossing our fingers and hoping for the best, I guess. Yeah, kind of a bummer. Did I tell you? I don't think I told you. I don't think I told you. I did get some Fray Check into the shop, and if you haven't used this, it's a clear liquid. It's like a glue, and it does dry a little stiff, but you only need a drop. It prevents your fabric from fraying and secures your thread ends. So if you have maybe a seam you're not sure is going to pull out and come undone, you can put some of this on it. If there's a little tiny hole in the fabric, you just accidentally snipped it, you put this on it, it won't fray any further. There'll still be a tiny hole, but nobody will notice. So yeah, this is good stuff for the oopsies. No, I never make any oopsies. None at all. I know I'm right next to my gadget wall. So this is my quilt this month too. I should tell you all about this. This is an older quilt. And you can see this nice mariner's compass. That's not quilted. That's just like whole cloth in the middle, which is just one big piece of fabric. And then I drew out with my chalk pencil, my favorite one. My favorite chalk pencil, the Fons and Porter mechanical chalk pencil. And a ruler. And I just drew out what the mariner's compass looks like. And I had to put in little squiggles to remind myself too, which was the lights and which were the darks. And I did a lot of free motion quilting practice. You'll be able to see up close that I go from, it's all right, to, wow, by the time she got over here, she was getting a lot better. So I did that. I used up some yellow scraps for the border, some just solids, and it's really nice, and some navy around the outside. This was in my phase where I didn't like to quilt borders. And I do still like leaving a little bit unquilted, but I'm looking at it now and thinking if it goes through the wash, those borders are going to crumple up a few times. So I might go back and do something in the borders, which is totally possible to go back and requilt some things that you've done before. Yes. So yeah, what I did with this mariner's compass here, and because I was practicing some of these, there were light and dark. In these navy bits, I was practicing a technique called McTavishing, and you can't hardly see this quilting because I use the navy thread on a navy fabric. But that is good for when you're practicing, because if you mess it up, nobody sees it, and you get the muscle memory in there. So that is my tip for today. You can work on stuff like this, and if nobody will see that, that's the time to practice. And I just did a meander stipply thing out here, but yeah, that is the nice mariner's compass up in the night sky, because there's like moons and stars all over this nice navy fabric. What did I do in the back? Mostly yellow in the back. I had a thing there where I kept making yellow and blue quilts because I wanted to use up all the yellow and blue in my stash. And I had a lot of yellow. And now I'm like, I have hardly any yellow in my stash. No, I don't use it a lot. And then there's like 10 yellow quilts. Oh, that's why there's no yellow in my stash. Okay, I used it. Good planning there, me. Yeah, I'm just pulling things out of my hat right now. And you're all keeping nice and warm. I got my social distancing shirt on. Social distance, if you can read this, you're too close. That's what it says in this little tiny print down here. I mean, I got this covering, so if you can read it, you're like got x-ray vision or something. So yeah, sale fabrics. Quilt of the month that I probably should write a blog post about, because I said I would do it back in August, and I did one, and I never did any more again. I hit a snag, so that made me get stuck. And yeah, I'm hoping by next week I will actually have stuff that's new to show you because this really sucks. Planning for stuff to show you and then the stuff doesn't get here. Anyway, I have a to-do list as long as my arm, so I am going to wrap up my rambling right now. Make sure you're signed up for the newsletter and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, that you like us on Facebook, whichever you're watching us from. Keep tabs so you can get to the good stuff as soon as possible. And yeah, deal with me on a frightfully early Wednesday morning when I ramble and have had too much tea. So playing the outro song. We're going to see if we can get into the sewing room with this week. Maybe get behind the machine. It hasn't happened in a while, I can tell you that. Take a deep breath. I think it's 60 days till the time change, something like that. I am so looking forward to it. I will catch you on the flip side. May you not need to use your seam ripper this week. Thanks for watching and putting up with me. Bye.